Yes, sir. Have a great day. And guest on their show.
Stand by me by David Martin. That's the song Afghanis are singing to Joe Biden this morning. We'll talk Afghanistan. We'll talk Ida on the Cowboys. All that and more coming up on today's Wade and Carter Show. Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Let's get rolling.
The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by Mr. Excitement and the great folks at Deerland Feed. It's 78 degrees in Victoria, feels like 78 degrees. Heading to a high of what? You moved my deal.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
Yeah. Heading to a high of 96. Very ever so slight chance of rain.
Get by Deerland this week. They've loaded up the deer corn. So
that's DIER corn. Deer corn.
That is.
Has anybody else noticed that the weather we're having in August, almost September, is very much the weather we're used to having in May, where every day you've got a little sun shower and is it
it's a little hotter maybe.
Yeah.
But summer took a while to get here this year.
It did.
At least that's what my gut tells me that. It's anecdotal.
So I picked
experiences.
I picked up a kind of one of those attaboy trips from work where Dawn and I are going to leave on the 19th of September and go out to Napa Valley and stay until the 23rd. And it's one of those deals where it says,
Caleb, you listening?
Yeah, Caleb, it's your chance to be a jukebox hero. You go out there and it says, you have this, and you have your scheduled activity, and then there's a little wine tasting and some brie, and then it says dinner at your leisure. Right?
Means you're on the hook for it.
Right, but you know what? In parentheses, it says cash allowance provided.
Oh, nice.
Very nice, right? So I've got this done. It's probably going to cost me about $4,000. T-Lat has already said, I checked the weather, and I'm going to need a assortment of, it can be 53 in the evenings and 85. I'm going to need some new gear. So she's been, no doubt, the online shopping will ramp up in the next 2 weeks.
Trip to the outlets is coming.
Unbelievable.
David Glass, good morning. Clint Ives checking in. Marvin Mickish.
Did you see Clint Ives won a fishing tournament?
I saw that.
A portion of a fishing tournament, and he was sporting the Wade and Carter brand on his cap.
It must be the lucky cap. Rena Scherer, good morning. Bob Watley checking in. Andy Rhea Jr., Scott Snow, Amanda Smith King, Justin Glass, Judge Posey, Kendra Douglas, good morning.
Good morning,
the Iceman is in. Diane Tippett, good morning. Bobby Leisterometer holding steady at 1,003. Robin Moore Knipling is in. Stephen Kidder, Roy Gutierrez, Scott Tomko, Lisa Poole, Aunt Betty, good morning.
Hi, Aunt Betty.
Diana Hawes checking in. Ricky King, Jim Simpson.
Aunt Betty's so upbeat. It's a tremendous Tuesday. Ash and I, really me, but Ash
I'm pumped for today.
No, you're a liar. You've had to admit that over the 5-year period that we've been here, typically Tuesdays are low content days because what the major news outlets do, and you learn this when you have to follow it semi-religiously.
They bury the stuff they don't want anybody to talk about on Fridays.
Absolutely. Put it in on Friday. We got all weekend for it to go away. And then, if Joe Biden, for example, if Joe Biden were to replace Jen Psaki, it's going to happen on a Friday, late in the day, because Saturday mornings, Meet the Nation, those schedules have already been set. And by Monday, nobody cares because the new person's already 3 press conferences in and nobody cares. So typically,
it'll be like a soap opera, the role of the press secretary now being played by.
Right. Something good happens over the weekend. They play it on Monday because they're trying to get the week off to a scoop start because everybody's watching the news again. And that leaves Tuesdays as kind of the stepchild.
Yeah, well, nothing really on Mondays. Christina Wise, good morning. J. Mark Jameson is in. Jared Glass, Tracy Price, Isaac Villarreal.
Tracy Price came down my street the other day. She's been doing, it takes a village to get our kids. And she came and picked up Rylan for school. Yesterday, of course, was his birthday. and she came onto the cul-de-sac honking her horn, and apparently one of my neighbors was outside giving her kind of a stink eye early in the
Should
morning.
do some donuts early.
Well, basically, she's
Good.
driving a big old Suburban, and she's like, she got him, and she said for good measure, she honked her horn some more, like, happy birthday, Rylan.
Kelly Fromme says she can only hope that Biden would replace Jen.
Right?
Yeah.
Callie
Bless her.
Fromme confirms that she's in for a table
Nice.
on the Lido deck.
At the Rock the Yacht Party.
Rock the Yacht Party.
October 8th, Club Westerner. Going to be a good time.
Very funny. The ticket says, come get
Ship-faced.
Ship-faced with Wade and Carter. Interesting.
Christina Wise, her last day for her at St. David's. I know she's moving on to greener pastures.
The land of perpetual gummy. She's going to Colorado.
Good for you, Christina. Safe trip, travels, and good luck with the move. And we'll be huge in Colorado.
I guess when you move to Colorado, the first thing you have to do is find the Taco Bell. Because you're going to need it. Somebody's going to slip you something.
No.
Is that oregano? No. You shouldn't have put that.
That doesn't happen.
On your salad?
Doesn't happen. Stuart Martin says, be careful what you ask for. Biden has a good chance of picking someone worse than Jen Psaki.
Right? I don't know. It's like Jen, plain and tall. Adam says, y'all having a party? Yes, Adam, October the 8th. Friday night, October 7:30. Club Westerner, 7:30.
Tickets will be available for sale real soon.
Band's probably going to play, 8:30.
Hopefully by tomorrow or Thursday at the latest, we'll sort out our payment details and get it all sorted out.
We're trying to do a deal where you can go to a page, and instead of just confirming you're going to go, you can Venmo $10, and then we will Venmo you a ticket, or we will have your name on a list.
Venmo tickets.
Yeah, well,
that's how tech savvy he is.
We will have a list that shows that you're in.
Now, Mayor, good morning. Chris Conrad checking in. Kimberly Smith.
It's one of my work partners.
Man.
Where do you want to begin?
I don't know. Maybe with the Cowboys and an ESPN panelist, just to keep it light to start.
Okay.
Tom Brady will be the 6th best quarterback in the NFL this year. Dak Prescott will be in the top 5. I didn't see the entire list, but they think Dak will be in there.
Now, why would they think that? Have they examined have they done an MRI on his Achilles? How could you even assume that he's going to be the same guy?
But I would rather have 42-year-old Tom Brady at this point.
Absolutely. Than Dak.
I mean, I know they had to pay Dak, and I don't fault Dak for wanting all the money. But if he just took a little less
and had a defense
and had some guys that they could have brought in to play some defense, they might actually have a shot if Dak can stay healthy, because Ezekiel Elliott's a pretty darn good running back when he wants to run the ball.
So is Pollard.
They've got probably the best receiving core in the NFL on paper. Offensive line, maybe a little suspect still. But the problems have long been the defensive side of the football with the Cowboys. Even last year before Dak got hurt, Dak was zinging it for a gazillion yards a game, and they still couldn't win a game.
Bill Bates has lost a step.
Yeah.
D.D. Lewis.
Emerson Walls just can't quite cover like he used to.
Charles Haley. The Manster.
Matt Boucher checking in. Adam Sugar says he faults Dak. Why? Because he got hurt? I mean, Dak was throwing up some pretty good numbers last year.
Yeah, really good. I mean, 500 yards a game.
Yeah, I mean, I broke it down. A lot of it was prevent defense and garbage time when the Cowboys were down by a bunch because their defense couldn't stop anybody. I mean, what was the only game they won last year? Before he got hurt, I think that Giant, or no, what were they? 3-3 when he got hurt, right?
They beat the Giants, didn't they?
I don't know. I think the one game that they came back and they were down early to Atlanta, weren't they? And then he threw for a gazillion yards, and they came back and won a shootout.
They beat Mississippi State.
But yeah, they might have.
SEC.
That's where he's from, wasn't he? That's where he played his ball at, right? Mississippi State.
Did he?
I think so. Yeah. Jay Humphreys, good morning. Calls them trash yards. Yeah, in a couple of games. I think I broke it down when I was bored one COVID day last fall, and actually, aside from that Atlanta game, a lot of his yards really weren't trash yards.
Yeah.
I was joking. No, but he just didn't have a defense that could stop anybody.
On another note, something that bothered me, and it bothered me even more because of you. I saw a picture yesterday.
Oh, don't.
I did. I saw a
I know
picture
you did.
yesterday in a hangar, folks. Kennel after kennel after kennel of United States Army service dogs, kenneled and left behind,
Ready to be put onto a plane.
and left behind by the United States government.
Joe Biden in his previous administration, you pointed this out. Barack Obama treated these dogs as service members.
As equals, they brought them home. They kind of reprogrammed them. They loved them, and they found adoptive families for them. And that's even Obama did that. These dogs, honestly, I mean, they're either being they were trained to seek out Taliban, so they're probably either being mistreated, killed, or put on a barbecue pit. Like, no kidding.
Yeah, it's not going to be
just a terrible, terrible situation.
And then you see pictures of the Taliban flying one of our Black Hawk helicopters we left behind yesterday, and just to send a message to the folks in Kabul that if there's any doubt who's in charge, they have a guy hanging from a rope by his neck underneath that helicopter. I mean, yeah. these aren't people. These aren't people that and they can be labeled religious extremists. I don't buy it for a minute. They use that as a veil or a shroud, whatever you want to call it. It's a facade to their tyranny and to try to bring some sort of legitimacy to the terror that they wreak on not only their people, but the rest of the world. And the rest of the world we buy it, folks. I mean, and Donald Trump was trying to negotiate with these folks. You can't negotiate with a bunch of trained terroristic killers. End of story. They need to be eradicated and wiped off the face of the earth.
I agree.
And I at first I was like, yeah, we need to get out of Afghanistan. I'm sitting there going, and now as time has gone on and I look back at this, Afghanistan, in my viewpoint, it evolved into I don't even want to call it a peacekeeping mission because it really wasn't that, but it was at a point where it had stabilized a lot in the Middle East from my perspective. And that's where we were.
Kelly
things are going to get bad, folks.
She saw where the Taliban now has more Black Hawk helicopters in Australia. Ricky King says, I just can't see them leaving the dogs behind. I work with the kennel masters when he was in the service, and they would not do that. I agree 100%. But I mean, it came down to, and I know what it came down to. The fact that there's still Americans there, it came down to it's either people or dogs, and they left the dogs. But the idea that we didn't have, that planes were flying continuously for months.
Thank you, Adam. Evil's the word, but they're worse than evil.
They are evil. They're evil with malice. You can be evil and not act on it.
James Kerr said we had no reason to tuck our tails and leave Afghanistan yet, other than folks don't have the stomach for it. Strength through stability, not anymore.
Well, that's what Bill Posey just said. Well, the difference is that, Donald Trump just had a whole different demeanor. They didn't want to cross Donald Trump. The people over there, basically, they are very resilient, but they are also very weak. If the Chinese sent 50,000 troops in there tomorrow and said, either you get in line with us or we're going to kill you all over the next 20 years, they would get in line with the Chinese. They would embrace whatever the Chinese brought.
They don't have to, because they're going to get money from the Chinese to go after the lithium, and they're going to get money from the Russians for oil, and the Chinese are going to give them money for the oil as well.
And they're going to use the money to do the dirty work of Russia and China of attacking and bothering the United States.
Yeah. And they're
Which
gonna,
is
and they're
why-
gonna, and they're gonna harbor terrorists again.
Is anybody on board yet with me? Will you put your hand on the other red button while Sleepy Joe enters the code, and let's just nuke that area?
No,
Why not? Too many innocents?
can't nuke it.
Why not? What's the use of having a nuclear weapon if you can't blow one up every now and then? Why can't you nuke them? I'm sort of. You think I'm above it morally? I would nuke that area in a heartbeat. For every American soldier who comes home missing a limb, for every service dog left in an airport hangar, for every...
Adam Sugar says yes.
I could nuke that area and never flinch. I don't understand where everybody's like, so we've got no problem. Let's stop for a second, Ash. We've got no problem going over there for 20 years. For 20 years, every young man in this country that volunteered to serve in our military did so with the possibility that they were going to have to go over there and chase those rats door to door to door. Now, you tell me, pick the number of 1,000 Americans that died, pick the 10 times that number that came home missing limbs, PTSD, traumatized, the debt, the billions and trillions of dollars, which I know is not a price for human life, and tell me we wouldn't have been better off going. And in 3, 2, 1, look at the sun, people. I could have nuked them and never flinched. I could do it today on principle just to let Russia know. Now go get your lithium. There's a big ass hole over there in the ground. Go get it. Why would you go, oh, I know you're being facetious. Why would you think I'm facetious? I'd nuke them so quick they wouldn't even know what hit them. Fry the Taliban. Why not? What am I doing? What am I doing? Well, where's the moral problem with that? Let's go find that soldier. There's one here in Victoria, I guarantee you, under a lot of perpetual stress. There's one here missing a limb. You and I support all the time.
And you don't.
Warriors
and
Weekend.
you don't think China would?
No, I don't.
I
I don't think China would. I don't think when it really comes down to it, China wants what they think they want.
Adam Sugar says we have huge bombs that aren't nukes. We only need one air base near there.
Well, we've got that. We've got the USS Ronald Reagan 20 minutes away. I would zap them with so much stuff. Just like, oh, by the way, forgot to tell y'all when we left. Blitzkrieg, baby. Zero guilt. Sorry about the women and children. I'm sorry. My cousin lost a leg over there. Sorry about it. Quit making little terrorists, ye burqa'd woman. Tired of it, man. Those towel heads have been causing problems over there for all of time. And like you just said, it's never going to end.
It won't end.
It's never going to end, man. Peace through strength. That's the only way to do it. And if I'm a warmonger, I'm a warmonger. I would nuke them so quick, I'd go, sorry. Welcome to Chernobyl East.
You drop a bomb over there, and that ends the threat in Afghanistan, and then 99% of Congress and all their lobbyists can no longer get rich off the war machine.
There you go.
That Congress funds.
Now, right now, what you've got is essentially you've got a deterrent which benefits the Taliban, because you can't go in there and nuke them when we know that there's Americans still there. We know there's Americans still stuck there.
250 according to the Biden administration, but I'm not buying that number because I don't buy much that they tell us these days. Reports are the last 5 planes out of there did not have an American on them.
No, they had assets. You know, you could start, though, on a, say, 50-mile radius around Kabul, and you could start a spiral and just carpet bomb every day. Go around, tighten the spiral, and then say, here's the deal. We're down to 10 miles from your epicenter. Either you let us fly in there unmolested and get everybody that we want out, or we're just going to go ahead and tighten the spiral.
I can agree with that.
Okay, that's fine. But we won't do anything because Sleepy Joe Biden is weak. And he's an embarrassment to the sovereignty of this nation.
I just don't believe that 45 would have left anybody
There's not a
behind that
chance.
didn't want to willingly stay. And there are some of those that do.
There is not a chance that they would not have messed with us at all under Donald Trump. Not at all.
They weren't.
And the Americans are weak in the eyes of the world. You think China, do you think that this latest gaffe by the Biden administration, does that bolster China that they're weakened by disease and they're weak when it comes to their military? Now is the time, comrades, to attack the weak Americans.
Yep.
What do you think about Russia? Russia's like, I guarantee you, Putin's an old KGB guy. He's like, hey, let's just get some popcorn and sit this one out.
It's amazing how we haven't heard anything. Speaking of Russia, there's no clamoring of the problems of Vlad Putin and what he causes in this country, or the corruption that he may have, or the influence, right?
No,
that just ended all of a sudden.
They're enjoying the show, man. They're enjoying the show over there, just waiting.
Well, because they're getting a free pass because of Hunter. Adam Sugar says he trusts the Taliban's word more than this administration's.
At least their true motives are more easily seen. I think that the Democratic Party, in practice, not individually, the Democratic Party in practice is seeking chaos and a world leader to come in and provide one true government, one.
They're power hungry. That's what drives the Democrat Party. They want power, and they will do anything they can.
Yep. Torrin Bale.
And a lot of Republicans as well, let's be honest.
Torrin Bale says China, Russia, and North Korea.
All you have to do is watch how quickly Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell and them all ran to distance themselves from Donald Trump when it became advantageous to them to do so.
Good morning,
Good morning. We are on the air. Hey, Peter, how are you?
Peter, we're on the air every morning, brother. How are you?
No, we don't kick you off.
We wouldn't kick you
off.
We
like you, Peter. You're the one Democrat we like. No, how did you fare? Did you get a lot of rain from Ida, or were you guys on the good side of it? Good.
So you can't hear us this morning? You can't get the show this morning?
Wow,
I'm sorry.
We don't block. Yeah, I don't know. We don't block people. So that's weird.
Joe Biden might have blocked you for your own protection because he's afraid you're going to switch over to the dark side.
But you can listen on the app or at magic95victoria.com as well. All right. No, but we are on. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on, Pete. Honestly, we did not block you.
We would never block you, sir. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for checking in.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's our buddy Peter McNally. Folks, real quick, Allen's Wrecker Service for all your towing needs, 578-6300. The VCS Company's Rocket Oilfield Services and the only locally owned and AT&T retailer are our banner sponsor for a reason. All of our sponsors are the gold standard in this region for customer service. The VCS companies lead the way. Chesnick Furniture Company, 116 West Juan Lynn, the corner of Juan Lynn and Bridge. Chesnick, you just do better at Chesnick. That's the way it is. For over 100 years and 70 plus at this location, Bobby Leon's family and now Bobby Leon have been the leaders in our region in helping folks get what they want. Chesnick and Love, make your house a home. Go by and get some new furniture today. Veracruz, ate there last night. The food is phenomenal. The service even better. The family atmosphere.
Let's be honest. You ate there last night. You ate there the night before. You ate there the night before that.
I did because we had leftovers from the funeral that were just better than anything I could cook. Veracruz and Veracruz to go, 576-6015. And then, of course, AJ's Detailing. Reach out to AJ for all your detailing needs. Find him on Facebook, AJ's Detailing. Appropriately named.
Isn't it, though?
That's what he does.
And that's his name.
Yep. And then here, since we're here and it's the bottom of the hour, let's go ahead real quick.
Roy Gutierrez says his wife said the same thing. She tried to get on yesterday. It was blocked. That is weird.
Folks, that's the communist left right there. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we ain't blocking nobody.
No.
So that's people. That's the algorithm.
Try to go and like the Wade and Carter page. That might be the way around it. I don't know.
Yeah, go to the page and like it. By the way, you will like this. Motto Mortgage, Terry Murray, 541-5454. We say it all the time. It's simple mathematics. If I lower your interest rate, I lower your mortgage payment. All you have to do is decide if it lowers it enough to make it worth refinancing. If you reach out to her and say, hey, I'm paying $1,500 a month on my $200,000 house and I've got 15 years left. And she goes, whoa, well, if you want to have 15 years left, I can drop it down to $1,250. Are you interested? Yeah. Or if you want to pay it off at $1,500 a month, you can have it paid off in 10. Does that? Wow, that works too.
Yeah.
Or you can pay $1,500 a month and remodel your kitchen.
And keep the term the same.
Absolutely. It's common sense. It's easy math. And she'll tell you at no cost to you whether it makes sense for you. It's called a no-brainer. If you haven't called Terry Murray, you must just like paying lots of interest. Went Services, generators, solar panels, electrical, plumbing work, emergency work, new, remodel, construction, residential. You get the picture. Call Went. They do it all. And they're there to help you 24/7. Went Services. And USA Concrete Coatings can come in and make all of your surfaces serviceable. You've got a slick garage floor with grease stains on it, cracks in it. He can come in, Charlie Garcia, 578 Home.
Slip resistant.
Yeah, polyurethane. It's 4 times tougher than epoxy. It won't peel, crack, fade, stick to your tires. It won't harbor bacteria. It's a beautiful surface. Yeah. It won't soak up oil. It's a no-brainer as well. Reach out to them, especially if you're doing a new home construction. While everything's brand new, get them to put that coating down, and you'll love it for a lifetime. And then one more thing. As you come into the Lido Deck party, October the 8th, Friday, October 8th, at Club Westerner, to celebrate just a party. It's just a party to celebrate.
Just a party.
We're not raising money for anybody. We're not tugging at your heartstrings. There's no auction that we know of. We may auction off
it's just a guilt-free party.
A lunch date with Wade and Carter. Of course, you'd have to pay. But we could do something fun, but it's just a party.
Yeah.
I want you to notice all the great decorations by the Gray Barn. Cheryl comes in and puts her touch on things. We gave her a theme, and she went to work.
And no budget.
Unbelievable. Yeah, give her a theme and no budget. See what she can do with her mind and no money. Yeah. Jeff Fonseca says Brent has an efficiency apartment at Veracruz. You know what I would do in all seriousness?
Tables, Ricky King's asking how much are tables? 300. I think there's only a couple left.
There's only a couple tables left at 300. They'll seat a dozen. But you can get in at the door for $10. I mean, it'd be better. We're going to try to get you to buy your tickets in advance because the
table will get you a few extras. We just haven't quite figured it out.
The more tickets we sell in advance, the more good stuff we're going to have at the party. That's the truth.
Yeah. Jeff Fonseca says Brent has an efficiency apartment at Veracruz.
Yeah. And Jeremy Penny, yes, we do have your table down.
And Torrin Bales says you have your mail delivered there.
Yes. And Torrin Bales, we have a table down for you as well. And one for JP Hull. Hoffer. It's going to be a great time. Simply can't wait to do it.
No, the Rewind is the band. I took a look at one of their set lists from a previous show.
Is it a blast of cool tunes?
Yeah,
It's yacht rock.
Patrick Strauss, put him down for a table.
Patrick Strauss is right up there close.
In like Gilligan.
Up close to the Comptons too.
Bob Constantine, where do we get the tables? Yours is all the way at the back, Bob. Just kidding. You have to drag your own table out.
The truth is, it may have to get one of those. What am I, babe? What am I, babe? Because we've already got. I think there's only room for a dozen tables. We want to have plenty of room on the dance floor. It's going to be a great time, folks.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Good time.
Wonderful. Glad to have all the support.
Thanks for the support.
Awesome. I've told the band is like, do you think, what kind of crowd are you expecting? I go, I'm expecting several hundred people. I think it's going to be a great time.
I do too. It'll be fun.
We promise not to even talk. We're not going to monopolize any of the time. The time's going to belong to the band. Yeah. It's going to be a great party.
Jay Humphrey's asking a question.
Go ahead.
He was quarantined in the general season. How does the Texas Army National Guard sign look at Riverside Stadium in left field? I honestly don't know.
I haven't been.
I'm focused more on what's going on the field than the signs. That's just when you're the PA announcer. That's the signs are kind of the last thing you look at.
I'm not as good
So I'll
at
be
being
honest,
the
I don't
PA announcer as you are. You're really good at doing the ads and all that. I'm more focused at the humor that's happening on the field, and I end up saying things that keep me from being asked back. Just a bit outside. I'm much more like Bob Uecker.
Torn Bales. Who buys the table? I buy the venue.
Right, exactly. It's $1,000.
I don't do that quite as well as Brent.
It's $1,000. Charge me double. You loved it the other day. JP Hall called.
I want to ensure I have a good time.
John Paul Hall called the other day and said, I just got 2 cases of Topo Chico delivered so I can water my plants. That's the humor. That's the tongue in cheek of the Yacht Rock. We can't wait to have this party and share it with you guys. What else you got? Let's talk about the city's dog.
Yeah.
Do we need to get Jeff Balknight on the line? I mean, I don't know if we can do that. Jeff,
second readings tonight, 5:00 city council meeting. I imagine the crowd's going to be pretty good. I'm going to try and get over there for it. Second reading of the new proposed ordinances for animal control for the city. The big thing is limiting the number of dogs and cats that responsible pet owners can have. And this is my concern, that this is going to, Victoria's got a pet, or I won't say a pet problem. Victoria has an animal problem with neglected, abused.
Pet owner problem. Problem.
The pet owners are the problems, the bad pet owners. But maybe San Antonio is probably just as bad from my experiences. But Victoria has a real problem with backyard breeders, people who get a dog, chain it to a tree, leave it there as a yard ornament. That's their idea of owning a pet. And in reading the redlined version of the ordinances as they were proposed 2 weeks ago at City Council, this will do nothing to stop the problems in this city. This will just create more problems because a proposed fee to drop your dog off at animal control.
That won't help.
That won't help because people aren't. I mean, they're dropping them off there now, and the people that drop them off aren't going to pay $25 to drop off the dog.
No,
they're just going to leave it tied to the gate when they get there after hours, or they're going to go dump it in Riverside Park or Ethel Lee Tracy Park.
Absolutely.
Or if they really have some effort, they'll take them out of the city limits and dump them somewhere on Fox Road or something like that.
Torrin Bale sums it up. They need to enforce existing laws before adding more. What they've said is, we're not doing a good job now, so we need to make this more stringent. The problem
enforcement is a big problem. Our bylaws don't have any teeth for animal control to go get a dog from somebody who is obviously neglecting it. They have to get the sheriff's office involved, and it becomes a big rigmarole and a production, and the sheriff's office doesn't have time to deal with that stuff because they're undermanned.
Yeah, I agree. The idea that you're going to tell somebody, because I know people that have, I mean, I'm not even talking about you because you live out in the county and you've got acreage. I don't care if you have 50 dogs. But there are people that can have
I wouldn't have the dogs I have if people didn't dump them, neglect them, abuse them.
Amen.
And they needed to be rescued so that they could have a chance at a decent life.
But Cheryl wouldn't have you if she hadn't taken pity on the dog.
I pay it forward.
Right. But the way I look at it is, if you're, and I'm a guy that's got 2 dogs until Dawn has fallen in love with the F1B Golden Doodle. Fantastic. Let's inbreed a couple of dogs and see what happens. And the problem is that they're grossly expensive. And I'm like, we don't need a 3rd dog. We don't need a 3rd dog, period. So everybody looks at Maggie like, when's Maggie going to go away so we can get a Labrador or a Golden Doodle? I know you would take her. I know you would.
I would.
She looks fantastic right now. But you can have, 10 dogs that are all well behaved, and that one guy next door's got a dog that barks all the time. And you're right. I mean, I don't see raising. It seems like this new ordinance is restrictive on folks who could be tremendous pet owners, and it's not punitive enough on people who are irresponsible pet owners. What are you gonna do?
That sums it up pretty well.
But picture the pet owner. Picture the pet owner who neglects his animal, who's got it seemed like a great idea to get this Rottweiler, and now it weighs 180 pounds, so I chained it to a tree out front. That's not a guy who's going to go, yep, you're right. Here's my $250 fine. I'm sorry. That's the guy that's going to go, well, then I can't keep the dog, and that dog's going to end up, and that guy's not going to pay $25 to have that dog taken to the Dorothy O'Connor deal. And the next thing you know, that dog's going to be roaming down around Riverside Park and hurt somebody.
I leave here every night or every morning, and there's a dog roaming somewhere. That's just not responsible pet ownership.
Right. We have a story to share with you.
Here we go. Hold on before we get there. I got a text from Jeff Bachnight, so appreciate this.
Thank you, Jeff.
They're going to hold 2 town halls for the animal control ordinance update. Most likely scenario is we kill the proposed ordinance and bring it back after community input. Updates are needed to be in line with state law. It's not on the agenda for tonight, except for me to announce the town halls and next steps. So thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Good to know that you listen to the folks and pump the brakes on this one, and are going to hold some town halls to get some feedback.
So we got that.
Appreciate that.
From
Thank
Mayor
you, Jeff
Bachnight.
Jeff Bachnight,
Mayor,
thank you, sir. That update. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
And appreciate the fact that, number one, that Jeff doesn't actually listen. He has handlers that do that for him. But people go, oh, Lordy, somebody get the mayor on the phone. They're talking about him. But I do appreciate the accessibility of all of our leaders here in Victoria. And, Jeff, I know you listen, and we really appreciate that.
He says F2B is better.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Or whatever you were saying.
Oh, F1's cattle. That's right. F2B. Yeah. And Jeff, thank you. But yeah,
so if you got an F1,
quick time out though. I'm going to tell you, folks, you can have a radio show in San Antonio, and you're not even getting a representative of the mayor's office to text you data. This is a fantastic city at the governmental level as far as the accessibility of people. To be able to have Mike Mercer come in and say, I'll talk to you about anything you want. Fantastic.
I mean, that. Jennifer Rayburn, way to go, City of Victoria. Torn Bales, thank you, Jeff. So appreciate.
I've lived in other places, and you don't have that accessibility. I've lived in Dallas. I've lived in Houston. You can forget it. They're not going to call in. They're not going to pay you any mind at all. And Jeff's just trying to help answer the question.
I appreciate the city monitoring and responding to the feedback after the first reading of this proposed ordinance and pumping the brakes. That's good leadership. That's what city government and government should do. Listen to the people. Thank you, Mayor Bachnight and the rest of the city council who decided that this is a better way to go on this. Appreciate that. Makes me feel good.
I do. I mean that. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. So Secret Service sent in the text.
Right, exactly.
Listen to him.
And by the way, hey, we have such successful leadership. I don't think it's odd at all that Jeff rides around town in a little assemblage of black SUVs. And there's like 5 Suburbans go by. There's little flags, City of Victoria flags on the hood. It's no big deal. It makes perfect sense that he should have some.
James Kerr says we're still a small town. You know, this ain't Dallas or Houston, thank God.
Amen.
But you know what? Dallas or Houston, if enough people spoke up against a proposed ordinance, Dallas or Houston should pump the brakes on it as well.
Right. Agree. So we're very fortunate to have responsible and responsive leadership in Victoria. That's why a city like Victoria gets through situations like Harvey better than places like New Orleans, because at the end of the day, we all pull together and we all, hey, let's get 10 people and go get that tree limb out of the street, and it gets done. In New Orleans, well, we got to wait for FEMA. We got to make this phone call and that phone call. Lunacy.
It is. So there's a big fun run. No, let me rephrase it. 5K coming up, right?
That's 2.5
Deadline's
miles.
tomorrow.
That's a long.
It's not
a
fun run. There's no running. There's no fun in running.
It's not coming up tomorrow.
No, but the deadline to enter is tomorrow.
And here's why.
You sent me the details, and now I can't find them.
I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah, I know.
Screenshot.
I know. I can't find it. Not there.
There it is.
No.
Wasn't it at the bottom?
That was something else.
At any rate, the deadline we got to find that.
I know we do.
I sent it to you.
Then you might have it on your phone.
Yeah, my
your phone's over there. That ain't doing us any good now.
Jamie Zeller Judge Zeller's wife, Jamie, who, by the way, is a registered nurse,
Oh, maybe that's where I can find it. On her
sent
page.
me an ad for a Brittany's Believers. Many of you
There it
remember,
is.
and they're having a fun run. And the deal is, if you register by the 1st, you're guaranteed a T-shirt.
$30 registration fee, which is about what
They're raising money.
Yeah.
It'll get you a T-shirt if you register.
And the proceeds are going to establish a nursing scholarship at Victoria College.
Brittany was a nurse. It's a wonderful idea. Wonderful. Lawrence Welk be there playing music. Wonderful idea. Is there a website? Is there a Facebook page? Is there somewhere folks can go? Because I really want to support this, and I know you will too.
You can go straight to Facebook and sign up right there.
The race is October the 2nd.
Yes. At Sun Valley Ranch. It's Saturday, 5K trail walk and run. Starts at 9:00 in the morning.
Is the barbecue included in the registration?
No, those are $10 pre-sale.
They're going to have pre-sale barbecue plates up. Nothing makes sense like running a 5K. There's Norm Burgess. He's a lifelong runner. Yeah. You run and then you just pound down some brisket. That'll help you. And we'll try to get more details for you, but go seek out Brittany's Believers.
1 5K participant per registration form. I didn't know that was an issue. People try to piggyback on.
People try to sign up their fat cousin.
Yeah, maybe so.
But if you'll go on October the 2nd, and you can certainly register there, but if you register now, you get a T-shirt. Yeah. James Kerr says, I'll donate, but I don't run anymore. I stopped. Well, you don't run anymore because you're a black belt.
You don't have to run.
Me and Ash are like,
they come at you and you just kick them.
Right.
And then kick their ass.
Either that or you go, we can go on together.
You can email Brittany'sBelievers@gmail.com. BRITTANYS.
Brittany'sBelievers@gmail.com.
Yes.
Please do that. Even if all you did was send them $30 and not go. That would be ideal. We would like to host a fun run. You send us $30. We'll send you a T-shirt. And then we won't actually run. There won't be an event. We'll just take the $30, send you a T-shirt, and call it a day. Everybody's a winner. And we'll put on there, I won.
All the money.
I won the Wade and Carter Fun Run.
Something hanging?
Right. I don't know. You okay?
Yeah. Allergies this morning.
He walked all the way over there to sneeze. I've got a little bit of a sniffle too, but it's
Jeff Fonseca calls it the fat K, not the 5K.
The fat K. So I ran into Dr. John McNeil last night.
There's a way to go. Pound down the brisket, then run.
Right.
That would make it an interesting.
There you go. The 5K fun barf. But you'd have to have porta cans about every quarter mile, where there'd be a lot. Hurry. People are running in place. I ran into Dr. John McNeil yesterday, and folks, he did say that this Delta variant is observably for him much more highly contagious. Do wash your hands. Do keep a distance. Like we've said for about a year now, if you're fat, old, or sick, stay home. Don't get any more contact. If you've got comorbidities, you've got heart disease, you've got emphysema, you're battling cancer, don't go out and get this. Don't go out and get this virus.
Dr. Unitas, he's a researcher at Stanford.
His name's Johnny. His name's got to be Johnny.
It's not Unitas. Ionitis.
Yeah.
I think it's Greek, yeah.
Sure.
He's been on the cutting edge and the front line of the data of COVID from the get-go. And he put together a recent study, and it kind of outlined the mortality risk of COVID-19. Here's what they did. For ages 0 to 19, your odds of dying from COVID, 1 in 37,000. 99.997 survival rate. And what they did is they brought this to common causes of death in population at those odds.
Like suffocation, crib death.
So for 0 to 19, that would be similar to the odds of dying from a sharp object. For age groups 20 to 29, you have a 99.986% survival rate. The odds of dying 1 in 7,100, similar to those of dying from sunstroke. 30 to 39, 99.969% survival rate, 1 in 3,200 chance of dying, similar to the odds of dying from choking on food. 40 to 49, 99.920% survival rate, odds of dying 1 in 1,219, similar to the odds of drowning.
99, every one of these is 99% survival rate. I mean, this is almost much ado about nothing.
50 to 59, the odds of dying 1 in 369, similar to the odds of dying in a pedestrian accident. And the other thing that's really telling is as you get up in age, the odds do increase.
No doubt.
Obviously, or decrease.
Because you've
depending on
got
your point of view, right?
other reasons, other things that can kill you.
60 to 69, 1 in 168%, or 1 in 168 odds of dying, 99.410% survival rate. And those are similar to the odds of dying in a car crash. 70 plus, the survival rate, 97.6%. 1 in 41 odd of dying, and that's similar to the odds of dying of chronic respiratory disease. So it's interesting. I mean,
it's a sad deal, but you can.
Yeah, no,
the
but
numbers grow because we have 350 million people in this country. But if you put 40 people in a room, 41 people in a room, and you give them all COVID, mathematically one of them is going to die,
depending on the age group.
At 70 plus. Now think about that.
But let's not go out and start COVID parties and do anything stupid, because that's starting to happen. The CDC actually had to issue a warning about that. So let's not do that.
Let's see. David Glass says,
if you have antibodies from previous infection, you're still accused of killing people.
Right. Yeah. They're saying you can still get and transmit. But I mean, it's not like, you're not showing me a disease state. I'm not trying to make light of it. Everybody should be cautious. Don't get it. I always said keep your distance. So be calm. But it's unbelievable that we're all, as a nation, just up in arms over something that kills way less than 1 out of 100. I mean, you've got a better chance of catching an STD just by driving through Lubbock. Don't get anywhere near Texas Tech, folks. By the way, please, please protect yourself. Scary. They've got it up there.
Simpy, good morning. Checking
you
in.
Nothing. You have nothing.
I got nothing. I don't know much about Lubbock.
No,
I've been driven through there twice. That's it.
Lubbock, Texas has been named the STD capital of the world. They've got strains of bacterially advanced sexually transmitted diseases that just look at penicillin and go, ha! You better go get your brother.
Steve Martin says the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, all I remember about Lubbock was Mac Davis and singing about happiness in his rearview mirror was Lubbock, Texas.
But when he died, he wanted to be buried in Lubbock, Texas in his jeans.
Yeah.
I liked Mac Davis. Did you ever watch the Mac Davis show? Did y'all get that in Canada? He kind of looked like Bob Ross a little bit. Had the perm. And Mac would, at the end of the show.
I saw Mac at the Leo J. Welder Center a few years back.
Mac would make up songs at the end of the show. And I can do that, by the way.
The Raider Rash, my daughter calls it.
Yeah, I can do Raider Rash. That's nice. See, they know. The kids know. You can give me a subject and I can make up those songs as well. But Mac Davis had that gift to do it on television. It was live TV, man. He could sit there and do it.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He was pretty sharp.
Oh, what else is what do we miss on the Astros won last night? They got Seattle's number for whatever reason. They beat them 4-3 in Seattle.
Yeah, no team in the American League, for sure in the American League, maybe in all of baseball, has a higher winning percentage against another team than the Astros versus the Seattle Mariners. I want to say, and I'm real close, that the record since like 85 is something like 69 wins for the Astros against only like 18 losses. I think that's fairly accurate. And nobody's even close to that.
No, I think you're right. You did send me a picture.
I'm right.
It was on the list of things to talk about this morning.
I did send you a list. We were going to talk about I do not know that. Where's BJ Nelson been? Has she been? Have you seen her on the show? Is she out of town?
No, she was on yesterday.
Just very
Check
quickly,
in.
White
Yeah.
Trash Services, 550-1826. White
Call them
Trash.
for all your trash collection needs in Victoria County, 6 surrounding counties. For site service work within the city of Victoria, they can do that as
Or
well.
a drop-off dumpster for a
Yep.
special project, they can do that as well. Atzenhofer, saw Tommy Taylor yesterday. They are working hard at the Atzenhofer dealership. I'll be there today getting some routine maintenance done. I'm going to get an oil change and a new filter. And what's so great about Atzenhofer is she said, I've got 9, 11, or 12 available. I said, make it noon, and Dawn and I'll just go grab some lunch.
Lunch
She'll pick
across
me
the
up. Yeah. So there you have it. You can call, make an appointment. You tell them which car you're driving, so they make sure they have the right filter, the right synthetics, and all that. And then it's like a custom auto maintenance shop, and it's a lot cheaper than me driving down to Corpus and dealing with the original dealer.
Or go to atzenoffer.com for all your new and used car needs.
Absolutely. Razor IT Solutions, JP Hull. I talked to him yesterday as well, and he said, man, I really am working hard. He goes, I know you're going to make fun of me on the air for that, but he goes, we are really, really busy as a company. They work with Fortune 100 and a whole bunch of Fortune 500 companies. They just happen to like to be right in the middle of San Antonio, Austin, and Houston, where they can be very responsive to their clients. If you need something done involving your analytics, your encryption, your website, collecting money over the internet, making sure your Facebook page communicates with your QuickBooks account, that is what he does, all while preserving the integrity of your clients' credit card information and all that. And as you can imagine, with the Russians, Chinese, Indians, everybody coming in, that's Indians with a dot, not Indians with an arrow. He is a very busy guy.
Actually, interestingly enough, the last big hack that we reported actually turned out to be a kid from America.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that? Also, 2 things for you. One, people make mistakes. And if you make a mistake or someone makes a mistake in dealing with you and you want to find an amicable reconciliation or a way to solve the problem, reach out to the law offices of Steve Kidder. The idea of I'm just going to sue somebody may not be the best option for you or them or the situation. Steve Kidder can help you, whether it's arrange a mediation or arbitration or help you with, I'm going to get with him ASAP, actually, to talk about a will. Having the little guys involved. Need to make some arrangements to make sure everybody is.
Oh, you ain't getting any younger.
How you say? And then, how about some news here? News out of this Complete 360 camp. They are going to meld their north location into this location here where the health bar is and have one location, but they're going to take 1 + 1 and make 3. You're going to have actually in-suite dining. You're going to have all the supplements, all the smoothies, paninis, the wraps, the bowls. You're going to be able to buy meats and other things by the quarter, half, and pound.
Yep.
It's going to be a complete healthy go-to.
Their sandwich meats now are, I think, nitrate free and
everything. When you go in and go, I want something that's gluten-free, nitrate-free, farm to table, blah blah blah. That's what they do. They have green drinks that are antioxidants that they'll go, well, is this fresh? And they'll show you the plant where they cut it that morning and put it in the blender for you. Complete is a wonderful place, and it's the only one like itself in town. So we're very excited to have them as a sponsor.
Yeah, it's really good. I said, I like their ham and pear panini. So real quick, the Biden administration just doesn't seem to care about the court system, extending their eviction moratorium or just saying they're going to do it, even though the courts have said you don't have the legal authority to do this. You had no authority to stop evictions. You need to try to pass a law if you would like to do this, but there is no constitutional authority for the Biden administration to just stop or intervene on landowner or landlords.
People
who are trying to
they think about
make their payments.
These big conglomerates like Donald Trump that own tons and tons of buildings that are subject to rent control, that are like, they have this vision of wholesale people leading, residential towers. Way over 90% of the real estate in this country that's held for lease is owned by individuals.
Absolutely.
A plumber an electrician who buys a fourplex and pays it off diligently over time and maintains it because he's handy, and that's his supplemental income. And or that guy's got a mortgage on that property. If he
Yeah.
doesn't collect rent, the bank has no problem taking it from him.
Nope.
So I don't understand how the government can get involved and decide that you can't kick those people out. Because right now is a great time to be a renter, right? Because there ought to be nice places available because people can't afford them.
Yeah, I've heard people are even manipulating the Airbnb. There's stories about people that they go and book an Airbnb and say, "Oh, I'm a renter. You can't kick me out."
And just stay in there and
And
live.
stay in there and live. They pay their 1 week and then that's it. Yep.
That's what we call a Smith and Wesson moment.
So it's 8:00.
Folks, we're going to get out of here.
Get out of here. It's Tuesday.
Thank you for pulling us. I saw all the likes and laughs and comments today, and it means the world. We have a really great chemistry with you folks, and we really enjoy the access with all the people that drive Victoria. Thank you, Mayor Bachnight, for sending us some information, and I hope if you read some of the comments on this thread, you'll see that I think Victoria's got work to do on their pet ordinance.
But they're gonna pump the brakes and put that work into it, which
absolutely.
is good.
Well, it's a great team down there, and Jeff told me he's very excited about the council and the direction that they're all pulling the boat, and I think that's a great thing. So we'll get out today. Tomorrow's called a Wednesday. Come on, it's already Wednesday.
Already Wednesday.
Folks, go make today a great day. Be safe on the roads, and we love you.
We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, folks.